Hi, everybody. Aaron Portzline back here in Nation. No, I'm at home. Allison Lucan is at home. The Blue Jackets were right at home tonight, too.
Uh,
Played just as they wanted to play, really, Allison. I don't think Toronto was quite as stiff as they thought they would be as an opponent in game one. Certainly not as offensively dangerous. Blue Jackets 2-0. They lead the best of five series 1-0. Wow. Quickly to the headlines. Jonas Corposalo, a 28 save shutout. First headline, he was the starter tonight over Elvis Merzlikins. Corposalo, 28 save shutout. First shutout in the Blue Jackets playoff history. And Cam Atkinson, his first career game-winning goal in the playoffs. So a night of first from two, obviously very important players for the Blue Jackets in this. Allison, this is the Blue Jackets' perfect draw up in the pregame laboratory when they imagined how they wanted this game to go. Was it not?
it was, I think, particularly to stay the course when they had some really good chances. Pierre-Luc Dubois had some good looks, Bjorkstrand, Texier, and there were a couple that when they were going down, you had to wonder, are these going to be the ones that they have nightmares about? But as far as the goaltending, as far as the defense, as far as frustrating those Toronto Maple Leafs, this was ideal execution.
I felt like there were two big moments. So I'm talking heavily Corposalo and Cam Atkinson here. But Corposalo's big moment was the unreal save on Matthews late in the second. Let's stick with Corposalo on that and his play tonight. John Tortorella said he looked very controlled, very measured. I think that's the thing you worry about, and not to continually bring up this guy's name, but when you think of Sergei Bobrovsky's first time in the playoffs with the Blue Jackets, he was all out of sorts, all over the place, overplaying pucks. You didn't see any of that with Corposalo tonight. He just looked so composed and together, did he not?
He did, absolutely. And I think, too, you have to wonder if this wasn't a little bit of a surprise for Toronto, if maybe they, too, thought that Elvis might get the start and they weren't fully prepared for Corposalo style of play. One thing I noticed, too, is Corposalo has been known to give up quite a few rebounds, and I thought that his control was better there. There were still some, but I thought his control was better there, again, speaking to his comfort and relaxed nature in net.
Yeah. Sticking on that side of the ice quickly, the Blue Jackets did not allow a shot. I've got to go back and look up for this number myself because I've heard two conflicting numbers now.
6-12.
6-12 is okay. Didn't allow a shot on goal for the final 6 minutes of the game.
Correct.
Like, this is a Leafs team that's down 1-0 at that point and clearly desperate to score. Pretty impressive defensive play. We always talk about the defenseman. It was the defenseman for sure, but it's all over the ice with the way that they played tonight.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more on the site tomorrow. But Seth Jones even said to me that, you think defense, but in his opinion, the forwards are almost more important to the defensive play of this team, the way they execute as compared to the defensemen. And I can even add to that stat, it's not just shots on goal. They had only one shot attempt in that final 6-12, and that shot attempt was blocked. So that was it.
Yeah, and so honestly, a little bit of me saying, wow, that's an incredible performance by the Blue Jackets. If I'm on the other side of the ledger, I've got a big WTF about the Leafs. How can that happen when you're down and desperate to score? They even put Marner, Matthews, and Tavares together, the load-up line, similar to the Penguins when they go with Malkin, Crosby, and they still didn't get looks like that. That's pretty impressive. On the other side of it for the Blue Jackets, it doesn't matter who scores the goal. It really doesn't. It's 2-0. Whoever scores them, it doesn't matter. As long as two people scored them tonight, that's all that matters. And yet, they need Cam Atkinson to be at his best and a difference maker, not a guy that exists in that second plane beneath Panarin in these playoffs. He has to be the guy tonight. I felt like that. You could just feel it lift from him when he scored that. His next two shifts were amazing after that. But to have Cam Atkinson score that goal, his first game winner in his playoff career, very meaningful goal for them. That has to be a great feel-good moment for him and for that room to know that guy's in part of this.
Yeah, he had not had a great game up until that point, to be honest. That was his first shot of the game, was that goal. So to see him do that, and I agree, I mean, he continuously reminds us it's been more months than just this COVID pause since he had last played a game. And so I think it's really key and important for him, for this team, for his confidence, for the way he plays, that puck came off his stick to get into the net.
Yeah. And before he had a hitch in his get along with the ankle injury, he had been snake bitten most of the year. And I don't even know snake bitten is the right word, because he didn't have the great chances he's had in the past. He just wasn't the offensive player he was. So maybe this is a lift. Another thing I wanted to ask you about is, the Blue Jackets have to be the more physical team. And I think you expect that in some part because you're not sure how much they're going to have the puck against this team. But Liam Foudy puts Mitch Marner on his backside.
Yeah.
Zach Werenski put the wood to good friend Austin Matthews.
Seth Jones was all over everybody.
Seth Jones, who you kind of expect, but even he was beyond what you would expect from Seth Jones. A very physical outing for the Blue Jackets tonight. That has to continue, of course, right?
Oh, 100%. And I think the key too is for maybe the few people who didn't see the game. I love this schedule, by the way, because all of hockey can focus on basically one game at a time.
Right.
But if you didn't see it, the way we're talking, you might think we're talking about these big bone crushing hits at every turn. And some were, but particularly Jones, it was just a physicality to say, I'm going to control where you can go.
Yeah.
And to me, that's almost more impressive than just coming in and trying to lay a big hit. It was very much controlling the space and the time they were going to allow the Maple Leafs players.
Yeah, they weren't skating long distances for hits. They were hits that occurred within the course of play. And key to all of this is they played that physical brand. They had one penalty all night.
Insane.
And so that's obviously a key to limiting the Leafs is don't let them have the man advantage. Being up 1-0 is certainly not a stranglehold, and yet in a 5-game series, it is a far different animal than it is in a 7-game series. What's the outlook now for the Blue Jackets? Nobody was really even smiling post game. It was kind of a business as usual ho-hum post game. Your thoughts on what this win means, if anything, for Game 2 or the rest of the series?
Well, we keep comparing this to last year, and I don't think they're exactly the same, but I think Game 2 is going to be huge. I was expecting a bigger push from Toronto after Cam scored that goal.
Totally.
We didn't see it. Will we see a big push from Toronto in Game 2? If it's going to come, it's going to come for sure when the puck drops on Game 2. They will still have home ice advantage. And to your point, I think that this group of players in the Columbus locker room has learned from last year and from all the other experiences. They're not done. They've done nothing yet. And they're going to focus on what they have to do next. There's nothing to celebrate yet at all. And that's the attitude they're taking.
Allison, what do you think of my shot here from an aesthetic point of view?
I love it.
Am I too close? I feel like I'm too close.
I feel like I'm looking down. So maybe if people have feedback on the aesthetic, they can let us know.
You look like it's professional set. Is that actually a set behind you, or is that real behind you?
No, that's see, there's a light. It's
Oh, yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometime I'll walk you through my collection back here. Folks, thanks for watching. I know this isn't the typical press box video you're used to seeing. Hope we can get through with this. We're trying to make the most of it. Blue Jackets 2-0. Game 2 now is on Tuesday evening, also Scotiabank Center. The Blue Jackets just want to get this back home in Game 3. Isn't that right, Allison? Back home to Scotiabank Center in Game 3. But all in all, a great night for the local lads. And we will talk to you Tuesday, podcast in the morning, Tuesday game at night. The games are going to come fast and furious now, so this should be fun.
Yep. 4 o'clock game.
4 o'clock game, yes.
4 o'clock game, yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much.